Yeah, I think I was gonna tell drunk stories, but I don't really have none that are really in depth.
Are you gonna do the we're back and stuff? That was a lot harder than what I thought.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
No, I'm saying I want you to do it.
Oh, my God. Oh, the intro.
Oh, 24? Am I starting it?
Yeah, you start. Yeah, you just something.
Are we talking about alcohol for another 20 minutes? I'm Amber.
No, you did good. I'm Randall. Don't. You did good.
My first time doing the intro.
Yay. That was a good time.
So today we're going to be talking about alcohol and just a little bit of how it is obviously affects the culture and how we use it now as like a social thing. And yeah, we're going to start off with Randall.
Okay.
What's your experience with alcohol?
Well, my experience with alcohol is I didn't really. I drunk it very lightly in like my my early 20s. Actually, not even like late teens, early 20s. Then just literally. My roommate he drank a lot of vodka, and I would probably have like, vodka, just one little bit of vodka. That'd be it. Then one day, I'm going into a story. One day, I was moving stuff from one apartment to another, right? And I had my truck, and my friend came over, and he brought some gin, right? And yeah, it's strong.
Yeah, I don't like gin.
Yeah, but it's some good gin drinks.
It's
But anyway,
rubbing alcohol. There are some drinks are good.
yeah. But anyway, so I was like, oh man, and I like drunk a little bit, and I drunk some more, and before you know it, I drunk the whole bottle. And I don't like. So I remember because he was helping me move from my old apartment to my new apartment, and I remember like helping, like doing stuff. And I remember like getting lazier and like telling more jokes. And I remember like laying on the truck bed, and then I just remember like waking up and like rushing to the bathroom and throwing up. And then like my wife had came, our first wife, and like my friend was like, "I'm so sorry," but that was after that. I was just like, I really don't like throwing up. That's really
It's quite uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I
had
believe you.
8 years of sobriety after that. I didn't have alcohol for 8 years because I didn't like that feeling.
Yeah.
Man, I'm talking all throughout my whole like military career, all through like we went to Germany, and like there were places that like beer was cheaper than water. Like you'll see on the menu that like beer was like, it was. My bad. I was like shocked. I was like, how can like. Cause don't you need water to make beer? Like I was confused. It was like, how can it be? But yeah, no, and I didn't have any alcohol, So that did it for me. I started back drinking. It was a special occasion in Vegas, and that's when I started back drinking. But ever since then, I definitely don't drink heavy, and I don't drink in public spaces. I'm not really like that type of person, that feels comfortable, like to let my guard down, around like, a bunch of people, especially strangers and shit. if I drink, it's usually at a private settings at my own house. I'll drink either whiskey or wine or margaritas, tequila. So yeah, but I'm not really a big drinker. Like I could go like a long time without even having a drop of alcohol, like months at a time, and I even notice this. Oh, this is the last time I drunk. It's been 2 months. So yeah, that's pretty much my entire experience with like alcohol. I could recommend some whiskeys. Like they have this, they have this peanut butter whiskey.
I knew you were gonna talk about that peanut butter whiskey.
Man,
Screwball.
that
This
shit.
man be talking about that peanut butter whiskey.
I don't know.
Screwball is the brand for the peanut butter whiskey.
It's someone else. It's
a
like
different line.
like Skydog or something like that or something. I eat it like with butter pecan ice cream. It's really good. Also, they have this salted watermelon caramel whiskey. I wish I remember the names of
That
these.
sounds
Like,
disgusting.
no, that shit is delicious.
Caramel and watermelon?
Salted.
Maybe it doesn't have caramel, but it's salted watermelon whiskey,
Salted
and that shit
caramel?
tastes good. Yeah,
Salted caramel whiskey sounds good, but with that watermelon.
it tastes like Jello
Yeah,
shots.
watermelon on whiskey is like a little different. Like watermelon on like tequila or like some rum.
It's Sunday. They don't sell liquor. They sell liquor here all the time.
I don't know.
No,
I think so.
I should buy you guys
I'm also
some.
not
I don't
really
know.
big into like
Whiskey?
drinking that much. Oh, I
Right.
love whiskey, but I just don't. I really don't drink a whole lot. I feel like I'm getting older. I got to think about my health. I got this heartburn issue. It's just like I love wine. I love a good like red blend or like some
Red
wine.
Yes,
Pork's always
but
the
it
best.
just now I'm getting older and it's like it just causes heartburn and it just I don't feel my stomach hurts after, so I just and then anything with this super sugary, I don't feel good. I get like a horrible headaches, all that. So I try to drink everything as straight as possible and and not that often. I mostly just like social drink now.
Same.
Or I'll have a glass of wine here at the house, but nothing heavy. Like I find that now I can't, like I don't really know what to do as an adult. It's not like alcohol centered. So like if I want to go hang out with friends, my go-to is always y'all want to go get a drink, like, and I don't know what that's about. Like why is alcohol always like the center? Like can't we like maybe just go get some food or find
If we get food, we're gonna drink with that food.
Exactly.
So
it's just like
Yeah. I mean, but it's also this area, so there's not that many places you can really go to.
That's true.
So one place that's gonna be open is all the restaurants. So
Yeah.
it's convenient, it's quick, it's easy. You can get in, get out.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gotta go home hungry. So,
And I feel like with us like having this culture of like where we drink, like everything is kind of centered around like has alcohol like involved. It's just like it's crazy how many people actually get DUIs. It's pretty common for people. I mean, I don't have one, but
it's crazy how many you can get. Still have your license.
Right.
How many can you get?
Like
I think after the fourth one.
yeah, I think it's after the fourth that
Yeah.
Damn.
done. But like, yeah, it's, I don't know. For some reason, we don't see it. This might be getting into the weeds a little bit, but like, we see weed as like this horrible thing, that needs to,
Right.
be, that is, illegal and still in a lot of states. But yet, like, I'd rather somebody be high around me than drunk. Like, drinking a lot of times brings out, like, alcohol can bring out the worst side of people.
They be doing too much. They all over
Yeah.
the place.
Yeah, they do
Acting
be doing
crazy,
too much. Yeah.
swinging from the ceiling fan or something.
Like somebody had it gonna take a nap. They might not remember shit I said.
Right.
But I don't mind telling my stories over again.
Right.
I be wanting to talk, so it's fine.
Exactly.
Like,
I don't know what that's about.
But I mean, almost every time I go, I don't get a drink. Like after this, I hope we have dinner because I'm gonna get a drink.
Yeah, I'm really hungry.
And
I'll get a drink too.
After this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, I know a lot of my friend base when we get together, we kind of get one step above slaughtered. Okay, like we get towed down. Somebody sleep somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Somebody. Last time me and my friends hung out, I was helping my friend take her pants off so she could dance. She just happened to have on 2 pair of pants, and then the boots was in the way, and then her husband.
She wore 2 pair of pants.
What?
It was cold.
Is that normal?
It was cold. Okay.
Okay.
It was cold.
Oh,
we was at
okay.
a gym party, so we had on Christmas clothes, stuff like that, and outfits. And so, and it's just a good time. And and we talk about the stories, the next day and going forth or whatever. I think one of my friends was on the ground doing the pelvic thrust, and like literally, I was like, "This is great." So, like, I mean, it's a good time. Because everybody's like, whatever you had going on, you letting it go. And it's the one thing that the government, can let you have as much of as you really want, as long as you kind of at the house. I mean, you can't really drive around with it. And, they even support, hey, if you do get drunk, have somebody drive you home.
Yeah.
They're not saying, hey, don't get drunk. They're
Right.
saying once you do,
Because they know it's going to happen. Like
they know it's going to happen.
At this point, it's like they just got to fix. They can't really fix the actual issue of. You can't tell people not to drink. You just have to fix the symptoms.
Yeah, it's been in society for so long, and it's something like how you were saying like weed. Like how you're more comfortable with someone being high around you than someone being like drunk around you, and that's true. But the drinking thing is more social. People are like, oh yeah, it's cool to drink. Oh, let's talk over a drink or something like that. And yet, like, people are in jail for like, even possessing weed. But like, alcohol may be the worst, worst drug out of the two. And
It's so available and accessible.
Yeah.
You can get it really anywhere.
yeah.
I mean, I know other certain states like after 12 and on Sundays and so on and so forth. But you can still go to any restaurant on any day of the week or any bar. Like it's available very often. And so it's just easily accessible for even people that are underage, at a good age, whatever, this, that, and the third.
Yeah. Some people can't hold their liquor, or they don't know like their limits, and that's like the worst thing. Like I don't. That's a big turn off of going out and stuff like that. Like I went to a bar. I went to 2 bars, but only in one night this year, and like that was my first time like going out, to a bar in like forever, and like it's always a few people that's just like fucking plastered and wasted and shit like that, and it's embarrassing. You have people like throwing up on themselves, and it's hard to watch because they're grown ass people,
Right.
So, but no, it's not real. It's a culture that's been pushed and accepted or whatever. But
like even like working at bars, like if I got to cut somebody off, they're pissed.
Yeah.
Basically cussing me out. I'm just like, okay, first of all, you stumbling over here. So no, I'm not going to give you more.
Yeah.
And like there are even some bartenders like that have lawsuits, against them, only because I know one that has 2 against her, where the customer got so drunk, so leaving the establishment, if they get in trouble too.
Oh.
That establishment gets in trouble when that person leaves drunk and kills someone or themselves.
Oh my gosh.
And one of them left, and I guess, I don't know, crossing the street got ran over.
I mean, I've heard that the establishment, but I didn't know that the bartender as well.
I know the establishment, but only because I know a bartender was she herself. And I didn't know that was a real thing until she told me.
That is crazy.
I was like, that's so wild. But at the same time, that teaches, the employee to try to be more responsible.
Right. I'd be watering down everybody's drinks.
Because some people, you don't know what they got in their purse.
Right.
They might be pouring something else up in there, and then like they'll send somebody else to go get their drink. So in a lot of cases, sometimes we really like people want that.
Yeah.
It's an addiction.
Yes.
They really want that liquor.
Yeah, and I have some people in my family who struggle with addiction, and like my grandfather, he would get, like, apparently he was great man. Like, I never met him, or maybe I did when I was really little, don't remember, but he's passed on since then. But he had an issue with alcoholism, and he was such a, like, loving, sweet man apparently, but then when he would get to drinking, it's like
the evil comes out.
Yeah, like become a different person. And for the longest, that's like something that would be kind of in the back of my mind with starting to drink and things like that. Like, I don't know if I've maybe had one or two times in my life where I've gotten just drunk and don't remember much of what happened the night before, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's happened maybe once. Well, definitely once, but maybe twice, Like, because, like, I feel like I have to know what's going on at all times. Like, I don't want to get to where I'm addicted, or, like, because it was my grandfather had that issues. Like, it is in my bloodline. It's like, it's something I'm very conscious of, and especially as a woman, we can't allow ourselves to.
We'll be in fucking Timbuktu with 10 men on top of us.
Right, exactly. Like, you can't. Like, it's something that's always in the back of my mind. Like, is that anything could happen. Like, I need to have all my faculties and know, like, and be able to get home and all of that. But it just doesn't. Alcohol sometimes, when abused, it can really be awful.
Yeah.
Do you think our people use it as a form of self-medication, like a coping mechanism?
100%.
Yes.
So they can escape the world in their life that they think is not going so well at the time.
Yeah, a lot of times, that's a lot of times what alcohol is for, is like either escapism, or like, to have some courage to go do something, maybe, like, especially in a social situation, it makes you a little more
you see this girl, this nice little honey over there, and it's like, man, you feel.
I'm gonna take this shot and go over there smelling like liquor, and she gonna want me.
Right.
I don't do that though.
0 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, I used to drink, like, just to feel like I'd have, like, that one drink just to kind of
just to relax.
Relax, because I get social anxiety, and people may not always know that about me. I come across as very, like, outgoing and all, and just whatever, but on the inside, a lot of times I'm like, everybody hates me. Everybody thinks I'm dumb. Why'd I say that? So, like, a lot of times, like, I
is that what you think?
Yeah.
Like when you're drunk. I apologize. I shouldn't laugh.
It's fine.
When you're like drunk.
No,
when
like,
she's
just
sober.
in
When she's
general.
sober.
Like, I tend to, like, overthink, like, social situations.
Yeah.
Just kind of, like, make me nervous. Like, even doing this podcast and having folks, like, in my house and in my place, it's just like it was very nerve-wracking for me. But yes, a lot of folks have social anxiety.
Oh, most
and that's why they'll, they get that drink when they get there, just kind of calms you down. You're not so much in your head and worrying so much about how you're perceived and, am I dancing right, or am I doing this right, or, whatever. You could just kind of, like, relax, So, but yeah, so sometimes I guess alcohol could be kind of good in those situations. Like, just make you not so, like, anxious and overthinking everything.
Yeah, like alcohol, like almost anything else, like moderation.
Yes, moderation.
It can go left for some people, like, because honestly, you kind of gotta have a good liver to even handle alcohol. And, like, some people, they got bad livers in their family. Their body might go to hell a little earlier than normal.
Yeah.
Only because I had a friend, she had something going on with her liver, but she was rather young. She wasn't 30 yet, but it was, her body wasn't cleaning itself out like it was supposed to, and then it got to the point where liquid literally started leaking out of her legs and stuff like that because her liver just flat out was not working. And I think it was because, that person indulged in more alcohol than a normal person, but still, it was still wild that happened so young. Because some people can do it, drink as much as they want to, and be 50, and everything's still just fine, So everybody's body's different.
Yeah.
So.
And that's how you got to know your limits. And I've
Know your
had
limits.
family members that do not know their limits. And I feel like that is why they're like I've seen marriages fall apart
Oh,
because
yeah.
they just drunk all the time, you know, like they don't know, you know, how to, and won't go get help, doesn't believe, like, because we have like functioning alcoholics, right? Like this person was still going to work, you know, every day, going, you know,
and had their liquor on them at
one of
work.
them jobs, or you had to, like, I'm trying to protect the identity of this person, but you know, so I won't say what job they had, but like they had a job where you had to be on your shit, like you couldn't just be, you know, you can't be drunk, you know, on the job. And but they were fine. They passed, you know, these tests that they had annually and all that. Like, so they didn't think they had a problem. But it's like when every time you drink, you just like wilding out, you know, driving children drunk, that kind of thing. Like, it's like you got a problem, you know, and yeah, it can be bad.
Yeah.
Yep. We're going to take a short break. We will reconvene shortly. All right. We are back. And, you know, we would like to know what you guys think. Your opinions on alcohol. Please post them in the comments. But in closing, you know, alcohol is not necessarily a bad thing like any other recreational drug. You know, it should be used in moderation and in safe spaces. You shouldn't be, you know, drinking and then, you know, driving, getting behind the wheel. Or, you know, if you can't hold your liquor, like don't, you know, be that asshole, you know, ruining the party for everyone, you know, fucking up like your grandma's, you know, 70th birthday, or, you know, your daughter's quinceañera. That's unfair to them, you know? Tone it down a little bit. I prefer to drink in private, but I know a lot more people are more sociable than that, and they prefer to go out, and that's fine, you know? Just don't, like, you know, do weird shit. That about does it. You know, drink in moderation, be safe, and make good decisions. I'm Randall.
I'm Amber.
I'm Stephanie.
And we'll see you guys later. Because I usually think of something, but I couldn't that quick. So I apologize.
Let's step to the intro.
Go for it.
Oh, okay.
You know what to do. Where do we go from here? Don't let it rule you. Everything's gonna be alright. Don't let it rule you. Everything is gonna be alright.
Yeah, we should do some more call to actions.
Call to action.
We'll get
That sounds so. Testing. Okay. That's good. All right. Bring this up.
Is this all of us or just you doing the outro?
Yeah, we're all there.
Okay.
You can, if you think of something, say something.